So, if you've clicked on this video, it's probably for a couple of reasons.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Landon Dust Stuff. Welcome back to the Landon Dust Stuff. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Landon. Welcome back to the Landon. Everybody, welcome back. Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Landon. Welcome back to the. Hey there everybody, welcome back. Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Landon. Hey there dudes, welcome back. Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Landon Dust. Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Landon Dust Stuff channel. 1,000. That's a big freaking number, ain't it, folks? And, hey, guess what? We hit 1,000 subscribers! So, as per usual, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Landon Does Stuff channel. And today, in this special little event here, we're not going to be covering any new games or FNF mods or anything that we'd normally be covering. Today, we're going to be doing a Q&A. You've asked these questions in this community post right here that's showing up on the screen. It's pretty cool. And now it's time that I go ahead and answer them. And I figured I'd do something a little bit different. I wanted to go ahead and throw in a few of my own questions. So, you know, you can see a couple things that maybe you wouldn't have asked that you might want to know. So, why don't we go ahead and just jump straight into the Q&A? So, I don't want to start and ramble for too long. Why don't we just get this going? Starting with a question from myself, actually. So, number 1. Landon asked, how the hell do you make your videos? Well, it's a pretty simple process that anyone can do. So you take a game you like. We'll take, I don't know, Friday Night Funkin', for example. So we'll go ahead and we'll record all the gameplay we need. Probably going to be something from every week, so you can see every part of the game. Then, we're going to go ahead and head into Google Docs with our gameplay on the right side of your screen, or just have it as a reference. That can either be, you know, you have it on your phone, you can have it on a second, overall, just object. Like, say you're writing on your phone for the video, you can go ahead and have it boot up on a console of yours. Like, I don't know, a Switch, I guess, would be a good idea, a good reference point. Or just even, if you have, like, a spare tablet or laptop, you can use that as well. It's just anything that you can really use to record, gameplay footage. Just use that as your secondary part. Then we head into Google Docs and we write everything. We write the entire script. Normally, for me, it's a couple pages. We break it up into the intro, the tier list time, and of course the main segment in the middle, which is just you talking about the game. If you want to, you can split up into different sections talking about different parts of the game, right? Like, for example, in some videos there will be like different points that I'm talking about. Like, if you watch the FNAF videos, you know I had to break it up into a couple more segments. Like, one was talking about the animatronics and characters, then the next was talking about the knights. We then move on to recording, like what I'm doing right now. Hi there, YouTube. Which is Audacity. I use Audacity with NVIDIA Broadcast to help catch a lot of the muffling. Of course, some still gets through, which when I'm done recording, I take the entire thing, I'll listen to it all back, and I will go ahead and cut up any, like, deep breaths, like, after, like, a really long section, or I will cut up any, like, background audio that you can hear. Like, if I just let my mic go, I don't know if you can hear that over the music that I have playing in the background for this video, but just like my PC fans, they're kind of loud. Plus, whenever I move in my chair's not the, what's the word, aerodynamic chair, so I kind of make a bit of noise while I, like, move around in it, which I'm very prone to moving around. I have ADHD, I was just diagnosed recently, actually. But that's pretty much it for this question. Then we go into Filmora, we edit everything, we make our thumbnail with Photopea, which is a free version of Photoshop that I'd recommend anyone use if they're worried about piracy, getting them viruses or everything. Photopea is free on your browser, and you can use it anytime you want. I believe there's also an app you can get that you can download onto your PC, if you have that, or laptop. But if not, then you can just use the web browser. So, then we upload the video, we do the title, the tags, all that in YouTube Studio, and bang! Landon Does Stuff video is done. So yeah, thanks for the question, me. Why don't we just go ahead and move on to the next? Being, Rollboy asked, what's your favorite Corruption episode? From OG Pico to Null Final? Well, it's probably something, I don't know. See, my opinion changes a lot. I think that's one really big problem with always saying what my favorite Corruption episode is. It sometimes will jump from this to that to there, right? I'll go from Allure to Blood Moon to, like, Tank Man. Then recently it's been Access Denied, but if I had to pick one that's, like, consistently been my favorite, I'd probably, yeah, I think I'd have to go with Discharge. Boyfriend Day 3 is so iconic. It's so good. I'm going to talk about it more later, but I think that the song is great. The storyline, oh man, it characterizes Boyfriend so well. As well, seeing Soul come in and finally understanding that he isn't Boyfriend's enemy, but actually his ally, it really helps to paint the picture that, the corruption mod is a lot more in-depth than just, ooh, scary virus that's going to take over the world and that's the ending. It gave us a really nice idea for a hopeful world. I think it's great. So yeah, Boyfriend Day 3 for that question, which thank you, Roboy. And I hope you like the answer. Anyways, on to the next one, being HW Stock asked, when is the Insanity Week 3 retrospective? It's been 5 years! Well, I knew this one was going to come up eventually. I answer it in streams every now and then, but so it's on record in video form. Insanity's getting remade. Obviously, Week 3 and Week 4 specifically, Skid and Mirist are both getting remade because of the fact that one person, actually two people that will not be named, got cancelled, and their music obviously isn't going to be used in the mod anymore. Because, they just didn't like the people anymore, which is understandable. Of course, the remakes of those songs have been uploaded and they are around, so if I really wanted to, I could cover them with the old gameplay footage. But Week 3 as well is getting rewritten, as the Eyes of the Universe isn't going to be involved anymore because it just didn't make sense, right? Which again, I personally like seeing them even if they didn't help Skid and Pump that much. I just think it was fun, but that's about it. That's why I'm not really covering them. And I don't see a point in covering Week 5 either because War is getting redone and War V2 is going to be there. I don't want to cover War V1. No offense, Valor, but just no. Anyways, I think that's about it. I think that's the main reason why. Also, you spelled it's wrong, HW Stock. But thank you for the question, and I hope you enjoyed. Anyways, Snapshot asked, why are you ginger? How about you go fuck yourself, buddy? Anyways, Space Girl Aurora asked, where do you get inspiration for videos? Well, it pretty much just boils down to what I like, whatever I want to talk about, I'll just talk about. It comes pretty easy at that point, right? It's just, if I like a game, I'll record gameplay of it, or I'll get gameplay from someone else if I can't afford the game, or if I don't want to buy the game. Or if there's a game that I want to cover, or if there's several games, there's like a monkey in my brain, and it has a dartboard, right? It loves playing darts. And it has a bunch of names of the games that I like, and it just throws the dart, and whatever it lands on or closest to is what I end up covering. So, for example, I wanted to cover Pizza Tower and Buckshot Roulette and this and that. It landed closer to Buckshot. But Pizza Tower got covered later, so it didn't really matter that much. Pretty much any game that I want to cover, you'll eventually see. It just might take a while because some of these games are long. Undertale's going to take a while. But we'll talk about that more later. Anyways, Aurora, thank you for the question, and Snapshot, ugh, thanks, I guess. Anyways, Neon Jackpot said, hey Landon, congrats on 1,000 subs. Hey, thank you, Neon. Anyways, here's my question. What's your favorite character in all of the corruption? Well, that's a tough one. If it were just the base FNF mod, I'd have to give it to Soul, because I think Soul's really cool. But there's a problem. FNF corruption, like the corruption mod in general, isn't just the base mod. There's a lot of, people's takes, like Insanity Reimagined, etc. So if I were to pick one as like an average between all of those takes, Soul falls behind for the fact that there's a lot of those takes besides maybe Insanity that don't get to him, or if they do, they rush him, right? He comes in the first week or two because they're like, oh, we need to have a Soul section, that just sounds cool. And I think that's just the problem. I think when you rush him, he doesn't feel as prevalent or important. So if I were to pick a character besides Soul, including all other takes, it would probably be Pico. I think Pico's awesome. Pico's great. He's overall just like really well written, like in his corrupted form, being like this crazy monster most of the time, right? He'll like go ravage a trash can because he thinks the trash can looks at him funny. As well, there's a couple mods, like one of them is one that can't be named, but I think they do Pico really well. I really like his concept. It's really sad that I can't talk about the mod and don't want to talk about the mod because of the whole stigma around the creator. But if I could, let me tell you, I would gush over Pico's character 100 times over because I think he's written pretty well and I like him a lot. But anyways, Neon, thank you for the question. And again, thank you for the little congratulations on 1,000 subs. Anyways, next up we got Camp asking a couple of questions here. Starting with, how was your day? Well, it's going pretty well, Camp. I actually recently got diagnosed with ADHD, so that's pretty new. So I'm getting used to taking Adderall. It's kind of weird. So yeah, no, it's going pretty well. It's nice to know that that's finally been kind of answered. Anyways, on to the next question. What's your favorite FNF song? Well, I already kind of said my favorite FNF song, but if I were to pick from just base FNF, it's probably going to be Coco Erect. It's recency bias, I know, but it's really good. Saster cooked on it. It was, oh man, it's amazing. It's got this nice, happy kind of Christmas vibe. I think it works out really well. But in general, it's Discharge. It's always going to be Discharge. Another Saster song. Wow, how funny. It feels like I have a little bit of bias towards this guy. But I love Saster's music, and Discharge has this perfect fuck you, we're going to do whatever the hell we want kind of vibe to it, you know? And I think it just works really well. I like it a lot. It works perfectly for the storyline as well. Having Strength of Will also be there, because I include them as like one song, because, you know, they are in one video as well. It's not like Strength of Will is by itself. I think Strength of Will plus Discharge is a really, really good pairing. You have this desolate, desperate, hopeless vibe, and then it switches completely. It falls flat on its head to a fuck you, we're gonna do exactly what we want kind of mindset. It's really, really good. I rambled for way too long on this one question. Thank you, Camp. And the final one, what is cuter, a capybara or a guinea pig? Very important question. Well, all I'm saying is that vehicular homicide rates have gone up since capybaras have been given their driver's licenses, and the amount of guinea pig hate crimes have gone up. So I'm gonna have to pick the capybara. Honestly, I just think it's really funny. Anyways, thank you for the questions, Camp, and thank you for all three of them, because it makes me happy I can put a bigger question number on the title. So why don't we go ahead and head into our 10th question, that being one of my own. So, Landon Duststuff asked, do you see yourself doing YouTube full time? This one's a tricky one. I'm going to college right now. I would love to do YouTube full time, but the problem is that I don't know how sustainable YouTube as a job is, right? There are some people like Mr. Beast, which, besides all of the fucked up allegations that are coming out towards him right now, which, by the way, do your own research. Don't listen to just me, because I haven't done all of what I need to do in terms of that. But besides all those allegations that are coming out, Mr. Beast is a great example of a YouTuber who took what he had and made it perfect. He ran with it. There's, of course, other YouTubers that are like me that can do it full time, and I would love to. But I've got a lot of passion in becoming a teacher. I love the idea of teaching people about new things that they aren't exactly fully capable of, and just overall talking about stuff I'm passionate in, which is why I started YouTube, in fact. It's just something that I've always liked doing. I've always loved rambling about stuff that isn't that important, but is still to a certain extent. At a teaching job, I'd just be able to, ramble about stuff that is actually important. Because, mental health and stuff, if you don't know. I'm going for a phys ed teacher, specifically. So I talk a lot about, mental health and things like that, which are very important. Always remember to take care of your mental health before anything else. Don't let anyone, drag you down. I'll talk about that later. But, I could see myself doing it full time. I think it's definitely a possibility, but it really depends on how well these videos do, because I can't, unless if the videos keep performing better and better, especially the non-FNF ones, because I can't bottleneck myself. It's nothing against FNF, it's just that, of course, as time goes on, I'm not going to want to cover it forever. I'm not stuck in this FNF time chamber, and I'm still going to make videos. I'm always going to make videos just for the fun of it, because I just find it fun, right? When I don't have anything I want to do, and I'm just playing Fortnite and I kind of get bored of it, I'll start writing for a video, or I'll start recording for a video, because again, I find it fun. So, maybe not full-time, but I could definitely see myself still constantly doing this. Again, it may not be forever, but for the time being, I have no reason to stop, so I'm just gonna keep going, because I like to do it. Anyways, thank you for the question, Landon. That was a deep one. Real deep cut. Anyways, on to our next. Got 2 questions here from Gabriel. He asked, what's your favorite part of your job? Well, I'm actually currently unemployed. I recently quit my job back in August, the end of August specifically, and I just was kind of tired of it for a little while. But if I were to pick my favorite part of the job, this probably goes for any job, but just for mine back at Domino's, it was the people.
What do you mean?
There's maybe sometimes when I'd be upset at a person or two because they said some stupid shit or they did some stupid shit, right? But overall, the people were always amazing. If there's anyone from Domino's watching this video right now, well, hey, how you doing? I hope it's going well up there. But the second question actually still kind of relates to the job. So how hard is it to make content while having another job? Well, let me just say this. Having another job and having school and everything all combined, that's actually part of the reason why I stepped away from my job. I wanted to spend a little bit more time focusing on college because I think it's really important that you put your school first. Well, let's just say that it was very hard to do all 3, plus try and maintain working out and staying healthy, which is why my health kind of started to slip again. So I decided to kind of just step away from YouTube for a little bit. That's part of the reason why the hiatus happened, which we're going to be slipping out of now. Because, again, I'm working on this really long project. I don't know if you've all seen the community post, but don't worry. You'll get at least one video a month for the time being until that project's done. Once that project is done, though, we're going full steam ahead back to what we were normally doing. So, thank you for the questions, Gabriel. I really enjoyed answering them, actually. It was kind of nice to look back at my nose. But yeah, thank you again. And anyways, on to the next one. Goofy Anything asked, when are you letting the kids out?
Never.
And also, when's the next Undertale part?
Grrr.
Well, honestly, Undertale part, soon. I'll tell you the next 2 videos are Indigo Park, but then after Indigo Park, it's going to be Pizza Tower Part 2, and then we should have Undertale Part 2, which will have another special guest on there. By the way, actually, one of them will be myself. I'll be voicing one of the characters. But the second special guest, I think you guys will find it kind of funny. One of the questions here actually relates to a little bit. But, yeah, sometime soon. You'll get it in the next coming months, don't worry. They're long videos, because I cover the whole area of the place and I go pretty in-depth. So it takes a while to make them, but you'll get it soon, don't worry. And also, there shouldn't be any other AI characters, just so you all know. Unfortunately, AI Dream is the only one that's going to be around. And who knows, maybe I'll find someone else to replace AI Dream. So AI Dream might become a thing of the past. Anyways, thank you for the question, Goofy Anything. Well, thank you for both of them. But yeah, no, you're never seeing them again. Magical Mario Films asked, will you ever play Luigi's Mansion live? Well, it depends on if people would want to watch it. Also, if I were to cover it live, I'd definitely be recording footage for it to play the game and, like, do a retrospective on it. Because that sounds like a fun game. Maybe that'll be next Halloween time. For now, probably not. There won't be anything coming out for it soon. But I'd be done to do it at some point. Anyways, thank you for the question, Mario. The next one is, what did you love about Reimagined? Well, the joke answer is I didn't love anything. I hated it all. Fuck you, Kumori. But the actual, like, real answer is just the passion that went into it. I think that some of the choices were kind of weird in the storyline, but of course, like, the multiverse thing is just a natural, like, oh fuck, that's just confusing. It's not even multiverses, it's timelines, which honestly is probably worse, because, like, that's just, it's a whole bucket of shit that you just don't want to get yourself into. But a lot of it, it's just like, you could tell that the team, at least at the time of making the episodes, just had a lot of care. Like, they loved this stuff back then, and it was really cool to see. Of course, it's sad that it ended up getting canceled, but again, I completely stand by Kumori and the team's choice to just kind of cut the mod off. It had its run, but it's done. It's over. You can't be spending your time making mods and FNF content forever, especially once you start with that passion, and it becomes impossible. It just doesn't work. It's honestly 100% understandable. But anyways, thank you for that, and your last question here, not to self-promote, but would you make the same series you did for Reimagined with my mod too? And oh boy, this is one that's like a loaded gun. So this goes for everybody, not just Mario, but most likely not. The whole what is thing is just mainly, I talk about mods that I'm really passionate about. Like, for example, Reimagined it just got the treatment. I love Reimagined, and it was the first finished corruption mod. Which is kind of funny because, you know, like, base corruption also exists and it's still not done. But, of course, that stuff is just really high quality. But Reimagined is, like, deserving of a retrospective like it. I'm really happy that Kumori let me cover it. Insanity is just flat out my favorite corruption mod, and I'm really kind of upset that I have to wait so long to cover more of it. But I love Insanity. I think it's great. So, yeah, those are the main 2 right now. But if I were to explain it, there's a couple other mods that I do want to cover. I'm not going to talk about them here because I want to leave them as surprises. But there are a couple that I definitely have plans to cover soon enough once they release more. Actually, I'll say one right now. Corruption Takeover. I know that there's been some drama with the creator, Pi the Dude. But if Pi were to give me, like, actual permission to cover it, I would 100% love to. I think Corruption Takeover looks great. I think the music, at least from the original mod, of course it got kind of reworked and now it's all being released at, like, one time. I think that the music was spectacular. I think the art style was amazing. I loved its kind of more creepy vibe. I don't know, I would love to cover Takeover, and that would definitely be one of the next ones that gets covered, because Takeover is like having constant work on it. Plus, I'd be able to make a couple of episodes in that retrospective, like one after another, because it's releasing in bulk. Which is a really big help for someone like me who likes to make it once the full week is finished and not just do one episode at a time. Which maybe I'll try doing several episodes, maybe as shorts. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that, by the way. I know I've kind of asked that once or twice already, but I would like to know because it could be a great way for me to kind of scoop my ass into the algorithm a bit more. Because unfortunately, we live in the modern times. The OG way of doing YouTube isn't really as efficient, which again is kind of sad. But that's the end of the question. Thank you, Mario. I hope that sufficed. If not, then hey, I can always answer it more on a stream. So, yeah. Thanks! Funho YT asked, what is your opinion on the FNF corruption recreation mods? Loves your vids, by the way, they're so easy to binge. Well, hey, thank you. I'm happy you enjoy the videos and I'm happy you keep watching. But my opinion on recreations, they're cool. I've played a couple and I just think sometimes they're funny. I think sometimes they're actually really good and really close. Like one, for example, is Psy. Psy makes great recreations. Obviously they aren't public, but Psy does a good job on them. But yeah, no, I think they're cool. I don't really have much to say, to be honest. I'm not like very big into that side of it all. I don't really know how hard they are to make. I know a lot of it sometimes involves tracing, which I'm a bit more iffy on. But hey, if you enjoy it, it's your thing. And keep going with it. It's fun, do it. That's why I'm doing YouTube, so just keep chasing that dream, man. Anyways, Fel asked, do you blink? No. It's been 7 years. My eyes don't blink anymore, Fel. It hurts so fucking much. I just want to close them, but every time I try, it hurts even more. Anyways, thanks for the question, Fel. Time for number 20. Landon asked, did you have any other channels before doing stuff? And yes, I did. I actually had a couple. One of them has now been kind of moved to being a members exclusive channel. It's called Landon Does Members, by the way. It's got all of my old videos. It's a bunch of Fortnite stuff. If you want to go and see like a time vault of old Landon before he actually was decent at editing and before he actually like had a decent quality microphone and things like that, and he didn't know what audio mixing was, God, those videos sucked back in the day. Oh my lord. If you want to go and check out a time capsule, I'll link the channel in the description and you can go ahead and take a peek at that. As well, I'll also link some Let's Plays I have on this channel for Sonic the Hedgehog 1 that were entirely unedited. They were literally like 2005 YouTube, but in like 2020, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I had balls back then because I didn't like editing. I hated it back then. I thought it was funny, like doing some edits. I remember there was this one mongrel one that was like, dance, bitch, dance! And I got boogie bombed. And I thought it was the funniest shit, but I eventually learned to love editing. And now we're here, of course. But as well, I had some YouTube channel back when I was a kid on my school account. That school account got terminated and it's no longer a channel, which is good because I did have my face on there and I like to keep myself mysterious to make sure I don't get swatted in the future. Especially since I live with my grandparents, I would never want them to get hurt because I'm a YouTuber. But, yeah, no, I'm happy that that's not a thing anymore. God bless, thank you the school system for terminating that account and just getting it gone. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have any other channels that I used to do stuff on. But yeah, thanks for the question, Landon, I guess, you fucking sociopath. Time to move on with BuddyFella68023 asked, is there any project you specifically dislike talking about? Is there any that I dislike? Now, if you're saying is there any videos that I disliked making? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever really gone into a video with malice. Okay, so the actual making of the Ban video was really fun, and I think it's unironically one of my best videos yet because of just the overall satire and the pure hatred I have for the game, which, by the way, I don't have that much hatred towards Ban. The tier list time is kind of a bit more encapsulating of my real thoughts on the game, but it's not that deep. You know, it's not that bad. I don't know, it's an interesting one, that Ban game there. Very interesting. But I think if there's any project that came close to me disliking it, I tasked myself with making the Pizza Tower video in 1 week, and it was not that fun to make. I'm taking up a different strategy, and I think that was part of the reason why I also kind of burned out a little bit. But I don't think that there's anything that I really didn't like talking about. I can't think back to anything. So yeah, I guess that's the answer. No, there's never really been anything that I disliked talking about. Oh, and you had one more. Oh, you're not getting your milk back. It's mine now. Sorry. It's too late for that. Anyways, Kinnair asked, what would your thoughts about my shirts be, Mr. Landon? Well, let's just say that they're fucking mid, they're awful, what me? Thanks for the question, kid. Anyways, on to the next. Okay, there we go. DJ Blue said, "Hey Landon, congrats on 1,000. This question I've been curious about for a bit now. Also, thank you, DJ. But is there any other FNF mods than corruption ones that you'd like to cover? If so, please say." Well, I mean, there's a couple that I've loved for a while. One that I'm actually really thinking about making a retrospective about, that being Soft. Soft mod is awesome. I love Soft mod so much. But if you were to get it, you'd probably get a full video talking about it. You wouldn't get just like a every week or so. I think that Soft mod needs to be taken in as like a whole thing and not just one at a time, slowly trickled out. I love Soft mod. I actually haven't played the new version yet. I probably got B-roll in the background, so I finally had an excuse to download it and play it. But that would definitely be the one. I don't think there's anything else that I'd really want to cover because there's nothing else really story-driven, at least as an FNF mod that I know of, that has that kind of depth that the Corruption mod or Soft has. But if there are any others, please just let me know and I'll take a look at them and I'd love to cover them. I might do like one-take mods or like one-take reviews as like shorts. Again, that would also be something I'd be down to do it, and if you'd like to see that, please let me know. I'd love to cover them. As well, honestly, I'd be down to cover Friday Night Funkin'. I feel like that would be like definitely the final FNF video that I make. That would be like the send-off, you know, I cover the full game in one giant video that's like 3 hours long. I think definitely that would be something I'd be into. I think that would be a really funny way to end it. You start at the base of it all, or you end at the base, like you end at where everything branched off from. I think that could be a really cool way to end my whole FNF journey, which by the way, isn't going to be ending anytime soon. Again, I said I'm going to cover Corruption Takeover earlier. So, hey, if you want to see that covered, just stick around, because, again, I'm not done yet. But when that time comes, because there will be a time when I stop doing FNF content, I'll be completely honest. Yeah, I'll probably finish it with base FNF. I think definitely the last 3 videos are going to be talking about my time in the community as a whole, what is the Corruption Plus when the Corruption mod is fully finished, and of course, then ending with what is Friday Night Funkin'. So yeah, that's it for your question, DJ. I hope you actually liked the answer, and anyways, on to the next one. Dylan Cooliad said, "Congrats on getting 1,000 subs. Anyways, here are my questions." Thank you, Dylan, by the way. "Do you enjoy your job as a YouTuber?" Yeah. Again, I don't feel it as a job, boys. I feel it as a fun little hobby I do on the side. Trust me, if this was a job, I would be working 40-hour weeks and probably get many, many more videos out. Which I've been thinking about making it more of like a competitive thing for myself, challenging myself to get things done. And, well, yeah, I think it's fun. I think overall being a YouTuber is worth it. As long as, once you strip away, because for a while there I was very worried about numbers, I had an epiphany, and I just stopped caring about it. Again, I just see this now as more of a hobby for fun. So once those videos come out, they come out and that's it. If they perform well, if they perform bad, it doesn't really affect me that much. My mindset shifted a lot. But anyways, you and Funny Man have beef? Yes, we do. And we're gonna settle in Smash. I don't know, someday. There'll probably be a stream or something. I don't know, that sounds like a funny idea. But no, we don't actually have beef. I just need to get this out of the way, just so you know. But yes, I will kill him! I'll fucking murder him! With Donkey Kong. I fucking love Donkey Kong. And for his last question, how long do you think Phantom will take to finish the entire Corruption series? At least 2 more years. I'm convinced we're in this for the long haul. I do not see us being done before like June of 2026. I don't see us being done by then. It's just that these episodes are so high quality, they take so long. Plus, he's going back and he's remaking everything. So we are not seeing this for at least 2 years. And I think that's me being optimistic. I don't think, I can see it being like 4 years. Like, it's no offense to the team. Again, I've said it before, but if you want to keep making these videos so high quality, keep going for it, Phantom. And honestly, I'm down to wait. No Final was so good that I could wait again. And I have a feeling we might. And I like the whole 2 episodes in one. I think it's really good. I think it helps work, especially for when they're like one-time episodes after the finale, like Girlfriend vs. Mirrorist was. So hey, Phantom, you fucking cooked. Great job. Keep going. Honestly, I'd assume you'd watch this video because there's definitely like some form of corrupted boyfriend on the thumbnail. I'd assume that I did that. There's probably like a part of every single video that I've covered or every single game that I'm covered. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the questions, Dylan. Anyways, time for the next one. Visa Boss Twisted Foxy asked, I hope you know what I mean, but when will we play the FNAF fan game we call Pain again? Definitely on a stream in October, which is right around the corner actually. And speaking of which, streams are going to be coming back. We'll probably be doing them every Sunday now. Sunday nights, I think that sounds like fun. Or we'll be doing them Fridays. I haven't truly decided yet. But definitely on a stream in October. Expect that. And how impossible do you think it would be getting 1K back in the day? Oh boy, let me tell you, back then, I was desperate for it. I wanted the 1,000 subs so bad, and I think that made it even harder because I would go to do it and I'd be like, this video isn't good enough, I need to restart. Let me tell you, I didn't think it was possible. I thought that these people cheated the system and then they just kept running with the cheats and like YouTube paid them or they paid YouTube under the table. Nah, it's not that hard. As long as you find something you like doing and you're willing to do it consistently, or even like pretty inconsistently, like again, my videos aren't like completely like consistent. For a while it was every other week, but I could definitely go farther. Especially now that I'm like medicated and like I've been diagnosed with ADHD and I know why I was so inconsistent with it. I definitely see myself being able to go farther, but I thought back in the day, oh my god, let me tell you, I thought it was a pipe dream. And I guarantee you that a lot of people are in that same boat. And even now, it doesn't feel real to a certain extent. Like, I still feel like I'm dreaming and someone's gonna pinch me and I'm gonna wake up and be like, no! So yeah, thank you, everybody, by the way, for subscribing. I feel like I should have said that earlier. Without you, this literally wouldn't be possible. And I wouldn't be here now. But yeah, I really thought it was impossible back in the day to hit it. And thank you for the questions, Foxy. And I hope you're excited for that stream because it's going to be coming up soon, actually. Halloween's right around the corner. But anyways, time for another landing question. Do you have plans to make a mascot or persona? Yeah, I do, actually. And, well, let's just say I don't know what I want to do with him. My buddy, System Legacy, he's drawn up a couple things, and I think they're great. I think they look amazing. But I've been thinking about someone different. I've been thinking about, like, something a bit more kind of fun and cutesy. I don't know. I'm gonna keep, thinking about it for now. There's nothing as of now about it like a Landon OC or a Landon persona, but expect it soon enough. He will probably both work as like a separate version of me and he'll work as a way to act as me. Like if you think about, I know a lot of you probably watch Dano Draws. Think about him as like Ricky. How like back in the day, Ricky was only really used as kind of like a persona for Dano, but then soon enough he kind of assumed his own personality. I could see that this guy would work kind of similar to how Ricky does. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the question. I mean, eventually you'll see him. He'll come out. I don't know when he will, but it'll probably be before that big video that I'm talking about because I think it's kind of important to have him for it since I'm going to be talking for a long time. And I think he'd work really well for it because the ideas I have for him, I think he would fit really well in that concept and that topic of a big video. So yeah, expect him to be coming sometime soon. And by soon, I mean before the end of the year. ChazzyBoy1W3 asked, how much do you love Pepino? A lot. I'd have sex if I could. Can you do a video after you finish Pizza Tower? And if so, can you do it on mods? Yeah, of course, I'd love to cover mods. And I believe you also asked if I could cover your own mod. I'd be down to just overall cover skin mods, because that's like just its giant thing. It sounds like a fun concept for it. I think Pizza Tower is a great game that deserves more coverage, even though it already got so much back in its heyday. I think the game's awesome. So I'd definitely be down to do one kind of final video on the mod scene, because I think it's really important. I mean, I started with Friday Night Funkin' mods, why wouldn't I cover Pizza Tower? But anyways, the last one from Chazzy Boy. Soul Boyfriend is such a Would you agree? I would disagree, actually. I think he's very cool. I love Soul Boyfriend. He's like Giga Chad levels for me. I just think he's so funny. Like, bitch, I am fucking Soul Boyfriend. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Oh man, that's such a funny clip. Oh, I think it's on Saster's channel if I remember correctly. It's the plush Soul Boyfriend. It's so good. Anyways, thank you for the questions, Chazzy, and I hope you enjoyed your answer. Artsy Legend asked a lot of questions. So, we're gonna have to kind of rapid fire them. But thank you so much, buddy. Again, thanks to you, I can put a bigger number on the title. Anyways, let's get to cooking. Are you a cat or dog person? I'm a dog person any day of the week. I get a dog myself. I'll flash a picture of her up on screen. She's a beautiful... Man's best friend is like a real thing. It's very true. And I love her so much. Her name's Poppy Seed, if you were wondering. She's about 4 months, or not 4 months. She's about 4 years old now. She turns 4 in January, I believe. because we got her when she was 3 months in April, so she's getting a little bit old. She's like more of a dog, though she's still a tyrant and she will do anything for food. She's crazy for that shit. Anyways, what is your favorite corruption take? If we're not including base one, because I think base is just by default a lot of people's favorites, as it's most likely everyone's introduction to the corruption, I'd have to say Insanity. Insanity's awesome. It's my favorite corruption take that's like fan made. So I think it stands there on the top easy. Favorite non-corruption mode? Probably gonna be Soft. Soft I already talked about as one that I'd want to cover. And it's just, I think the storytelling, back in the day, of course, looking back on it now was kind of cringy, but it was always fun to me. I thought it was cute. I always enjoyed it, you know? It's something that I always liked. It's just some fun little story. And it was kind of also sad to a certain extent. It was kind of heartbreaking seeing what happened to Boyfriend in this alternate world. And next question, am I speaking to the real Landon? The amount of Landons in the videos is hard to keep track of. Yes, you are. So pretty much the lore for Landon is, there was the break in Reality and Reimagined, and then after all of the stuff was covered across all of the, like, multiple timelines, they fused back together to make one Landon. And that Landon shares all of the same memories from all of them, like all of those timelines. That's why he can remember everything that he covered in those Reimagined episodes. And I think that's about it. I don't think there's ever been other splits. There will be some more Landon stuff that happens in that big video that I kind of already alluded to, but that's not going to be happening for a while, so don't expect it to happen for a while. For now, we're just chilling with the one Landon, who is, by the way, like, canonically just, like, going through everything. He's just covering everything at his own pace. So, yeah, you are speaking to the real Landon. The only one that's different is Stream Landon, because Stream Landon's just me. That's it. There's nothing, like, different about it. Anyways, do your videos have a pattern, or do you just upload as you see fit? Mainly it's just whenever I finish a video, it goes up on the weekend of. There's nothing much to it, really. Just whenever the video's finished, it just comes up. That's it. There's not much more to it, to be completely honest. I just kind of upload whenever it's finished, because videos obviously do better on the weekend. I'd kind of be shooting myself in the foot if I upload on a Tuesday morning, because, you know, obviously that's just not... That's not a good time. People are in school, and most of the people who watch my videos are in middle or high school. So a lot of the people would have to wait till they get home, and if people don't watch your video within, like, the first hour or two, the video is not going to perform well. It's not going to be recommended, because it's like, oh, well, people aren't watching it. Obviously, it's bad. Which is a failure in the YouTube algorithm's part, but yeah, no, I just always kind of release it on the weekend, because it makes the most sense to me. But yeah, no, I just kind of upload them whenever they're done. Anyways, do you see yourself branching out into other styles of content besides the What Is videos? Yes, 110% I do. The What Is videos are fun. They're very fun, and I like recording them. I think they're great. But I think to a certain extent, I would love to expand. One thing I'd love to do is to kind of take this whole who, what, is, and blah, 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 right? And kind of throw in a who series, right? Where it would mainly focus on character analysis. I always think the idea of, like, dissecting one specific character and their morals and, like, values and things is super cool. There's one person who does it on Kingdom Hearts characters. I believe it's BioRoxas. I might be wrong. If I am, it'll be flashed up on screen. I think they do a great job analyzing a lot of the characters that I love in Kingdom Hearts. I mean, I'd be down to make a video covering, like, Soul Boyfriend, for example, and his whole ideology, especially thanks to, like, the like, comics that have been recently released that give more insight to who he was before the corruption. So I would definitely be down to do something like that. And even just outside of FNF, covering other video game characters that I think are cool and that I think are actually kind of, like, multifaceted and have more depth than what they're, you know, given. So for the final question here, what's your favorite kind of stuff to do? Well, let's just say this right now. It was FNF for a while, of course. I covered FNF for a long time. Just Reimagined, just base. But as time went on, I started to get a little bit less motivated towards it, and I realized that, you know, there's other stuff that I really like to do. Like, for example, I mean, I think the interesting one is I just like covering other games that people don't really tend to see. Obviously, there hasn't been much. Most of them have been popular indie games that I've covered, but when I get around to it, I want to start covering more obscure games that people haven't given the chance. Like, once I'm given that platform, that everybody who watches this channel, or at least the most people, the people that will, like, be able to support my way of living, you know, so I can actually make YouTube a full-time thing. Once everyone starts watching these channels, or this channel from me, that's when I want to start lifting up more mods and more games and just overall experiences that I love that I noticed a lot of people haven't covered because they really deserve it, especially a lot of FNF mods. Like, there would be a couple that I'd be willing to cover. That, like, Commenter, he's going to show up in a little bit, but he showed me one mod that I feel like fell under the radar because a lot of the bigger mods just didn't cover it, or big, like, mod channels didn't cover it. And I would love to talk about it, because I think it's a fun little spin on the FNF, like, Girlfriend's Family Tree. But yeah, no, I think it's just, like, it's crazy that some amazing things made by amazing people just fall under the radar because, for example, in FNF, another Sonic.exe thing gets made. Or there's like 100 corruption takes, and like 90% of them are very simple and kind of follow the steps of like Reimagined or Insanity. And then there's that like little bit that actually, you know, makes something unique out of it. And I think definitely those ones that are unique deserve to be propped up, but sometimes they just get unfortunately lumped into the mediocrity. Which, not to insult anyone's work, it's just that, you know, I feel like that there's a lot of people that could expand and could do something more unique, but they get caught on this idea that they need to make it like the corruption mod, or like this one or that one, because that one got popular. But do your own thing. I feel like that's something that a lot of people forget when they're making like mods like these, that they need to follow these steps because these steps work for them. Why aren't they working for me? Do what you think is right. Like, just changing who gets corrupted at the start. This is, of course, I've kind of dove into a tangent, but just changing who gets corrupted at the start or vice versa doesn't really work. Change how the corruption functions, for example. Like, change how things get altered. Like, when Corruption Rewritten was still being made, the mutation concept was new and cool, and no one's dived on that since. And I think it's really, really cool. I think it's a fun idea, and it should be experimented more. Like, will it change because of the corrupted person? Will it change because the corruption itself evolves? Maybe the species of the person, you know? I think there's a lot of stuff that can be done. And again, I think it could be cool. And that's just using an idea that hasn't really been covered much. Like, it's been covered before, but you can make something unique out of it, which I think a lot of corruption takes don't do. And I think I would love to see it, and that would honestly make me cover them more. Even if, like, the mods don't look or sound the greatest, if they have cool concepts going, that can drive a mod. Hell, that's what drives these videos, the idea of it. If you don't have a good idea for a video, you don't have a video. Flat out. Like, I'll be completely honest, right? So, yeah, my favorite kind of stuff to do is just, like, prop up indie games or, like, play smaller indie games that deserve more coverage, and I haven't gotten to do that yet, again, because this channel's still pretty small in the grand scheme of things, but I would love to later on. Anyways, I know I kind of went on a long tangent for that last question there, Art, but thank you for asking them, and I hope you were happy with the answers. Anyways, on to the next. Wavy asked, why the ever-living fuck is Landon so short? I'll have you know, Wavy, I actually graduated top of my class in the average men's department. I'm 5'9" and, taller than you little British bastard. Anyways, love you, Wavy, hi! I know you're kind of stepping away from FNF, or at least the corruption, but hi! Hello! Big fan. Big fan. But yeah, I'm actually average height, so go fuck yourself. But yeah, anyways, thanks for the question, buddy. So anyways, to wrap up the Q&A here before my final question, Conenter, my goat, asked a couple here. So, number 1, what would you say your favorite game or project to cover is so far? Well, that's a tough one. But if I were to pick the series that I had the most fun doing, or just an episode I had the most fun doing, it was Ban Ban. I don't think it was my best video. I think No was my best, but I think Ban Ban was the most fun. But if you want a top 3 real quick, it would be Ban Ban, Noel, and then probably Undertale, because the Dream AI was really funny and fun to do as well. And I did it really quick. If you can tell, that's why the AI kind of sounds like ass. I just kind of picked one that I thought was funny. So yeah, that was a fun one to do. So that's my top 3. Anyways, next question here from Conan. Do you have any other projects you want to cover after the ones you're currently at? Yes, 100%. The YouTube channel isn't just gonna die off once I'm done with Undertale or anything like that, don't worry. There's a lot of games that are on my hit list right now that I want to get to covering. A lot of them are bigger games that are going to be bigger videos that take a long time, because I don't see splitting them up into several smaller videos make much sense. So definitely gonna be having to take a lot of time off of like making shorter videos to make these longer ones. Which is why I'm kind of starting to do that now, which is why you're going to be getting one video a month for the time being, just so I can make this video the best it can possibly be. Because I think the concept and I love the idea of this one that I'm making. Because again, your idea matters. Remember that. If you don't have a good idea, you don't have a good video. You don't have a video. It's pretty much awful, right? So I think that once I get to covering these smaller things and once I get them out of the way, these bigger ones are going to be hard to cover, but very fun. And I think they're going to be great videos. And I hope you all stay around for them. Some of them aren't FNF, some of them are. Obviously, one of the big ones is What is the Corruption Plus? That's going to be massive when it finally releases. But yeah, I do have a couple more things. If I were to drop one right now, one that I want to cover that I haven't started yet that I know is going to take a while for me to get to, and it'll probably be more of like a 5 years after or something, is going to be Omori. I think Omori is a beautiful game. I haven't fully played through it yet. I've gone through the first couple hours. It's really good, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Omori is amazing. But anyways, for Conan's final question here, thoughts on Bendy and the Ink Machine? Haven't played it. Love the aesthetic from what I've seen. Haven't played it. Haven't really watched much gameplay. I heard that it's both the best game in the world and the worst game, so I'm just going to keep my opinion simple in that I think it looks cool, but I haven't played it. I think Fetch Quest games are boring though, and I've heard of that. That's what it is. So it might not be my thing, but it seems pretty cool. Again, the aesthetic kind of is really nice to me. And you might get a video on it at some point. That definitely would be something I'd be willing to cover. Again, it would probably be like 10 years later, 5 years later, does Bendy and the Ink Machine still hold up? But for the time being, there's no plans to truly cover it. I just think it's alright. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, Conan. And of course, we got one final question here, so why don't we just segue? So, for our final question here, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who commented their questions on the community post. And to anyone who didn't see the post and would have wished to comment, don't worry, this isn't going to be the only Q&A. As time goes on, we reach more sub milestones. I'm probably going to do a couple more here and there. Like 5k subs is probably going to get Q&A since it's not as big of a celebration as like 10k, for example. That's going to be something completely different. But anyways, for the final question here, it's me, of course. So, hey, Landon asked, do you have any plans to make...
Are you ready for the start of my world?
Alright, just gotta make this quick, gotta get this done. Okay, I can do this, come on. I just hope they don't hear me. 3, 2, 1. Hello. I hope whoever finds this tape isn't one of the vile. But to whoever did, I'm sure you figured out by now that the world you and I knew is gone. These, inky monsters that control your friends and family have turned it into a wasteland. I'm recording this to help give you a fighting chance against these monsters, as after encountering my fair share, I've learned a couple of weaknesses we can abuse to gain the upper hand. And, if you don't mind, I'd like to share them with you. Starting with... What the fuck was that? Fuck, I gotta hide. They found me. And that's it. That's the end of the 1000 sub special. I hope you all enjoyed, everyone. I know that this is a long-ass video. Trust me, I know. But I had a lot to talk about, and I had a lot of questions here that I kind of wanted to dive into. And if your question didn't get answered like to the amount or like the extensiveness that you wanted, hey, I'm going to start streaming again soon. I'll make a community post probably talking about it, and a tweet. By the way, I have a Twitter. I don't know if I self-promote already. I kind of forgot. I've been recording for 50 minutes. But then, of course, I also have a Discord server. Link in the description if you haven't joined it yet. I'll be streaming. I'm always going to go ahead and promote when I'm streaming. So go ahead and pop in the Discord server, turn on announcement pings, and you'll know when I go live. It'll most likely be on Friday nights. But, of course, that's going to change depending on whether I can or can't because of school or whatever. But, again, thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you're happy with the unveiling of Funkin' on a Vile Night. And I hope that, we can make this mod amazing, because I truly think that I want to throw my own spin, and I want to show people what a more unique and kind of crafty take on the corruption could be like. So, I'm not going to say much more besides, welcome to the beginning of his new world. My name is Landon. I've done all my stuff for today. I hope you all enjoyed watching as much as I did making, and, well, I'll be sure to see you all next time. Peace out, guys, and gals, and non-binary pals. I'll see you all next time. Adios. And hey, remember to always have a great night, and be yourself.